6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker.
You are now tuned in to Butter B. Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B. Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. But before I bring on my special guest, I want to say thank you to everybody that came out to BBR Indie Films. It was amazing. And this young man was one of the panelists, so I was very blessed to have him there. He is a creative artist and lover of life. You have seen him on shows such as BMF, as Remy. You've seen him on Black Lightning, Wu-Tang, American Saga, NCIS, LA, The Wonder Years, and so many more. Can you please show some love for Jason C. Louder? Hello, King.
Yo,
How are
peace
you?
Peace and blessings, Queen. What's going on, birthday girl? What's good?
How are you?
I am abundantly blessed, truly blessed. Just grateful. You know what I'm saying? Today is the best day of my life.
Absolutely. Jason, let me just tell you, your energy, you just ooze energy, you just ooze light. You know what I mean? So thank you for always, every time I see you, you bring that light. Thank you.
Ashe. Listen, we are reflections. So let me say thank you for reflecting, you know what I mean? Because that's what we are, and we're energy. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you as much as you're grateful for me. Like, so listen, let's go. Let's keep reflecting light.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so Jason, I already gave a little bit about, some of the accolades and stuff like that, but can you give everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
I am a native of Atlanta. I'm an AT alien, born and raised. So that being my first, this being my home. I tell people acting kind of found me. I was rapping. I was in a rap group, you know what I'm saying, initially. And, and so, that was in college at Georgia Southern University. I attended Georgia Southern University in a group. We're doing our thing, come back to Atlanta, make some music, kind of make some noise on the Atlanta underground hip hop scene. And I'm teaching at the same time because my degree was in sociology. So I was teaching. And then, life started happening. Brothers in the group started having babies and started getting married. And so it was like, okay, we can't be focused on the music like that as much, so people had to make decisions. And so as they were making decisions, we went, some people were able to give more time to it. I was still able to kind of like be like, what's up, Christian? I was able to be like if you will, I was the hype man of the group. So being hype man, I had all the energy. I was bringing all the, bringing all the action and like the flavor, if you will. So one of the guys, he was still Quam Scott. He was still doing the music, still pursuing it. I was his hype man. And one day he just called me and was like, hey, you should try acting. There's a talent. There's a audition at Georgia State University, and somebody a mutual friend was a part of it, and so he was like, "Yo, Shaka's little sister." I'm like, Shaka Zulu, Ludacris. He was like, yeah. And so we were actually looking to have Shaka's older sister manage us, and so I went to the audition, and they gave me my sides, and I was like, what y'all want me to do? They were like, have you acted before? And I was like, no. but I'm here. And she was like, okay, so sit to the side, go over the sides. We'll call you in, call me in. And once I started going over the script, the sides with the director,
Mm-hmm.
something happened, and I was like, no, this is real. This feels very real and like powerful, beyond my control, right? So I was like, man, wow, that was great. And they were like, yeah, that was great. Another one of the writers said, well, can you read mine too? And I was like, yeah, let me see. I got that. We went back and forth again. I was like, yo. And so two or three other writers said, can you read mine as well? And I did all those. And then later on that evening, the director of the theater department, Dr. Charlene Holmes, God rest her soul, she called me and was like, Jason, you've been cast in 6 of the 7 pieces, but I'm not going to let you do that because that wouldn't be fair for you, being that you haven't acted before, and that wouldn't be fair for them to pull you to put, so I'm gonna let you choose 2. And so I chose 2. I chose the one by Shaka's little sister, Dr. Asante Wasuni Ali. It was called Our Liberated Justice, and it was about her parents who were Black Panthers, and how they were framed. And so I did that one, and I did another one called Salam, and it was about a Muslim terrorist who flew the planes into the Twin Towers, but he had to account for his sins, and he went to go see God. And so that's how acting kind of found me, and the bug bit me, and when it bit me, I fell in love, and I was like, this is what I want to do right here, right here. So I was teaching and acting for a while at the same time, teaching and acting. So short story long, that's how my journey that's a part of my journey. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
In your journey, you've played such a wide range of characters, from
Mm.
historical figures to drug lords. What has been your process for approaching such different roles?
Um, so I attribute this to my first acting teacher, Freddie Hendricks, Baba Freddie Hendricks. He's a legend here in Atlanta, as far as he created um, an entire, I guess, an entire, infrastructure, if you will, as far as like acting is concerned. And so he told me acting is doing is being, and being is believing. And if they don't believe you, if you don't believe you, then nobody else is going to believe you. So you have to believe who you are. So that's the core of my whole like development. I have to become or be that individual, that people say character, that character. Like I have to become that. So my training has just given me so many insights into how to develop a character. Like, of course, Sanford Meisner talks about living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So using that, and then Stella Adler and her asking the 100 questions, that being specific, that's dealing with specificity. And then Mark, the Abana Chubbuck technique. It deals with the 9 elements, the power of the actor, right? And so the 9 steps to developing that character, and then step 9 is to let it all go and just be. So I've been blessed to have a lot of just great mentors, great coaches who have kind of led me to this place that I'm at, that I'm in now, into where now I can kind of figure out my own little technique, if you will. And I think that's important, that we use what works. Some stuff may not work, but use what works for you to develop your own individual technique to getting into character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what has been some of your biggest challenges you face as an actor? Because everyone sees you on TV, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know that there's a behind the scenes story. It ain't just roses.
It's not roses. You know what? And CeeLo said it. He said on CeeLo Green on Goody Mob on one of the songs, Cell Therapy. He said, "You might see a brother on TV, but hell, it's almost like I'm rapping for free. That little money be gone."
Yeah.
And so people be like, "Oh wow, you know what? You know you got this. I see you." And it's like, yes, and this is called show business. So the business part of it, if you don't know that part of it, if you're not acute and alert of it, it can take you out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's been times where I'm like, all right, I got, $6 in my account. I'm on Black Lightning, but I got $6 in my account. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do to, to eat and when I, what I got to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? So the balance of, all right, I got to do DoorDash and Uber Eats, and Postmates and figure out other ways of navigating this space, navigating this world. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, it's not always glitter and gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people don't really understand it all the time. But as a creative, as an artist, we have to be mindful of the fact that this is a business. So we have to learn the language of contracts. We have to learn the language of percentages. All that stuff plays a part, man, because yeah, Andre said it too. I live at a beat like you live check to check. If it'll move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck, like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you, of course, as well as a recording artist, as a, so yeah.
Yeah. I know all so well. It is true. Like people see that you've worked with all these people, you're doing all this stuff, you didn't tour, and then the reality is, yes, I have. We both have done a whole lot of things, but
Yes.
this season, I mean, 1 minute you could make a whole lot off of one project, and then for months you don't get called for nothing, and it's just like you have to be able to navigate and have to be able to sustain all of this. And because we don't work a regular 9 to 5,
Right.
you don't get the health coverage and all of the stuff that you would get from a 9 to 5. So if you sick and you can't make an event or a taping or anything, that's your money. Like you don't get no paid time off or any of that type of stuff. And people don't see the behind the scenes and think that it's just supposed to be up all the time. And it's not. It's up when it's up, but it's not
Yes.
always. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I
Right.
appreciate you being transparent about that, because a lot of people got it wrong. It is about the business of
Yes.
show business for sure.
Yes. 100%. And the sooner we learn that, I think the more equipped we'll be able to navigate inside of it. You know what I'm saying? The sooner we do recognize that that's what it is.
Yep, absolutely. So you guest starred on popular shows like Black Lightning, Wu-Tang. What was some of the most memorable experiences?
So I'm gonna tell you this. My first day on set on Black Lightning, right? I was like 2 hours early because I was like, yo, this is it. This is about to be amazing. And so the security guard was like, your call time is not until 8. It was 6 a.m. I was like, I know, but I'm 2 bits. I'm playing 2 bits. And they were like, okay, listen, we'll let you go inside, but nobody's here yet, so you're gonna have to kind of wait in the lobby, And I was like, that's cool. So then once I got in and they welcomed me in and they showed me my trailer or my room or whatever, I met the director, legendary Mike Schultz.
Wow.
Cooley High, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God, this is Mike Schultz. And so I also meet the writer and of course Cress Williams, Black Lightning himself, you know what I'm saying? So we talk about the scene and then we rehearse the scene. And so we rehearse it, and the writer made some changes to the script. All right, and so I don't think he notified Mr. Schultz, and so Mr. Schultz was like, all right, well, let's good rehearsal. Let's put it on tape. Let's get it. And so we do it once, and he's like, after I do the scene, he's like, okay, I need to see more power from you, as if he is a lion. He's coming into your prow. And so now I want to see how you kind of just size him up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that. So I do it. He's like, cut. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to see more of, you have power. Both of you all are powerful, but yet you are a little bit, there's some hesitancy, some intimidation there, because where he, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. Do it again. He's like, cut. No, that's not what I'm looking for. And I'm like, oh man, dang. And so I'm not thinking, I'm getting in my head now, like, oh boy, it's a wrap. Hey, listen, I'm glad I made it. Y'all can take me off. And then the writer comes up and was like, hey, we changed a few lines, and Mr. Schultz was like, hey, why didn't y'all tell me? And so they go and have a side conversation. Crest pulls me over and was like, hey, don't get in your head. You're here because you're supposed to be here. Let them work out what they need to work out. We know what we're doing. Let's do what we do. You want to rehearse it? And I was like, yeah, let's go over it again. So we did it again. He comes back over. He was like, all right, guys, let's just try it one more time. We'll see what happens. We do it, and he's like, yes, that's it. And I'm like, oh my God. And I told Crest, I said, hey man, I owe you so much. I owe you my life. Thank you. He's like, no, you don't owe me anything. All you do is do that for the next actor who comes on. I'm that. And I was like, that's what it means to be number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
That's what it means. It means to take care of your other fellow actors.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me. And then Mike Schultz sees me at lunch, and he was like, hey, Mr. Louder. He said, hey man, do you know why I stopped it? And I was like, I have no idea. He said, no, because you're being introduced into the series, and they're gonna be bringing you back the whole season and more seasons. I just wanted to make sure I can show your levels as I introduced you. And I was like, oh man.
That's dope.
So that was a blessing right there, And then the whole Wu-Tang, that right there was even more crazy, because just once again, I'll tell you this, but my entire journey has been serendipitous. So like, even with Black Lightning, I auditioned for another role, not 2 Bits. And so when my agent said that I got the cast as 2 Bits, we didn't know who that was. We didn't know where that, and so, but we then found out that 2 Bits in the comic book, he was married to Black Lightning's sister. So he was the informant. He became the informant for the entire comic book. He was like Black Lightning's right-hand man with all the information. So I'm like, what? And then with Wu-Tang, when my manager told me that the RZA wanted to talk to me about my character, I was like, the RZA. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. So we're talking on the phone. He's like, yo, God, this person was real, but we want you to make sure that he lived a life, and when he didn't speak a lot, but when he spoke, everybody listened. And he was real dark. So I need you to really step into that. And I was like, yes sir, I got it. And when I met Method Man on set, I was like, yo, Method Man, I grew up on your music. He was like, no, don't do that. I'm like, no. Oh, you're not. I know you're not old. I'm just saying, Wu-Tang is what we grew up. That's like, I used to rap too. He was like, oh, word. So that whole experience was just, it was once again transformative. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my queen now. She was the one who actually told me about the audition. She was the one who told me about the audition. So I'm like, and then she whooped my butt while doing the audition. So yeah. It was just serendipitous. Both of those shows were huge in as far as culture. Black
Mhm.
Lightning and Wu-Tang were huge when it comes to culture. So I am just grateful.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely playing some major roles. You BMF. Let's talk about BMF because
Ooh.
I called you on one of the scenes. Remember when I called you? I was like, "Yo, I didn't see that coming at all." But I don't want to spoil it in case people haven't seen it and stuff like that. But
Right.
you played a major role in BMF. Your character's Remy, the leader of Techwood crew. He holds
Yeah.
significant power in Atlanta's drug scene. Can you tell us about your approach to portraying that kind of leadership and responsibility that came with it?
You know what? So knowing that Techwood is a real place, right? And knowing that what happened during that time span where 96, that was the 96 Olympics. So the city was looking to tear down the projects to make
Hmm.
Atlanta look more than what it, what I'm saying, to make
Yeah,
Atlanta look presentable. Um, and also knowing that the Red Dogs were super intense about Red Dogs
hmm,
ridding every drug dealer out of Georgia. Like that's a man. And so they had free reign to do whatever they wanted to do, however they wanted to do it, whenever they wanted to do it. So they were pretty vicious. And so knowing that all that was real, just I said, you know what? I have to take this person, Remy Ransom, as a fictitious character, but knowing that there were people like this in the neighborhood, right?
hmm,
Who were layered. They were nuanced. Yes, he sells drugs, but yes, he also takes care of the kids and walks them to school every day
yeah,
because he feels like this neighborhood, this community is my community. So I'm going to take care of the community and protect the community in the way that I know how to,
hmm,
especially after his brother, Remy's brother, was murdered during the Atlanta child murders. So he was
yeah. I
like,
remember
yo,
that.
you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
he took that. He didn't take that lightly. He took it on as a personal, like, yo, I'm gonna protect all our kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure that nothing happens to none of our children. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that part was really like, once again, showing the layers of who Remy really was,
Yeah,
and he wanted to stand strong for Techwood into the death, until his, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I'm gonna stand strong and represent this community until and what, hell or high water.
yeah,
You know what I'm
literally.
saying? Literally. Over my dead body.
Over my dead body. How did you make your mind go so dark and so deep with this? Because again, you are a master of being able to show layers with your acting, right? And that was a whole different, layer for you. How did you get your mindset to, okay, this is how I need to be?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was sharing last night at the beautiful mixer at the film festival, BBR, one time BBR film mixer, I was telling people that my muse was my younger brother,
Mm,
and he got caught up in some things where he had to go to serve some time, and so knowing once again that, hey, you know what, we took different paths, and also knowing his heart, he has a huge heart, right? So
mm,
sometimes it's just choices. We make different choices, and our choices have different consequences. And so I used him as a muse, if you will. And then my uncle, I seen my uncle like just go in rages, and I'm like, what is, wow, why? And once again, knowing that I can also go there, we all have it in us. We all can snap. We all can snap if we're pushed to a certain point, right? Just using all of that as like the catalyst, is all that as the fuel to kind of move Remy forward, right? And I was like, okay, this person, Remy is that times 10. And when he feels like he's being threatened or pushed, his snap is almost crazy.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
snap is crazy. Like, whoa, why did he do that? But I had to be okay with saying, you know what? This is what the character calls for. So I got to be willing to go to that place and
Yeah.
just be ready to snap. And so the directors, Crystal Robinson, my God, she was a beautiful collaborator, and she was like, all right, listen, let's do I want to try some different things. And I was like, okay, let's try it. And Tim Robinson, like, just, he was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you go. Just go. And I was like, okay, are you sure? He said, yes, just go. I said, all right. So just having those people as collaborators, you know what I'm saying? And then Heather being on set every day, like she's the showrunner, just her. And then she might say something very, 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 a small note. Hey, would Remy do this? And I'm like, yes, he would. Yes, he would. And so it was just like a melting pot of collaboration happening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
How do you balance it all? I mean, your acting career, you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a lover of life, your
Yeah.
own personal, how do you balance everything?
You know what, Butter? I've fallen into this space of um daily meditation. I
Hmm.
think that's important. And being grounded. So my goal is to weekly go and put my feet into the grass, into some grass, into the
Literally.
ground, literally
Yeah.
bare feet into the grass, get grounded and reactivated, because that's where the balance comes from. We are
Yeah.
nature. We are a part of nature. So, I make it a point to do that, like at least two times a week. But the daily meditation, that's something that I've been doing daily for the last like almost 6 months. And I think it's life changing. It really is. It really
Hmm.
is. And then of course, just living life, like enjoying life, go be with family, hang out with I love going over my mom and dad's house just to kick it with them. Sometimes we may not even do nothing. We may just watch a movie or watch a
Right.
TV show, but just, just bringing that balance. We got to have the balance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, beyond acting, you've expressed desires to continue telling stories
Yeah.
through the revolutionary lens.
Mhm.
What are your plans for directing, writing, producing your own projects in the future?
Wow. Wow. Hey, listen. So, once again, shout out to the Queen. She created this series called the Spotlight series, where it
Hmm.
takes 7 writers, 7 directors, and 21 actors, and they have a 5-minute stage play, right? And I was blessed to be a director for one of the pieces last year. And so it's going to happen every year now. And so I'm like, ooh, I get to direct once a year. so knowing that that's a part of a legacy that she's created that's going to continue on for, what I'm saying, for who knows, and also I'm blessed to be able to work with some amazing independent filmmakers, and crafting this series that addresses post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Mm,
So
mm,
we're working on that right now. It's something that I started maybe 2016. We
hmm.
we started it. We got some good traction, and then we kind of disbanded. And I'm like, Spirit is now telling me to return to those stories.
Yeah.
So yeah. So shout out to Dr. Joy DeGruy. She is the spokesperson, if you will, the person
Hmm.
who coined the phrase post-traumatic slave syndrome, and we are kind of using her book as our foundation to tell all these stories.
Love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm a definitely. You gotta definitely let me know when y'all do the next spotlight series. So,
Yes, indeed. Yes,
so
ma'am. Oh yeah, you do stage? You do stage as
I
well?
Yes, I do. Of course, I
Come
do
on.
stage plays. I had 6 national recording artists in my stage play. I cheated so what? I had Christopher
Yes.
Williams, Demita Haddon, Mike Merrill. He was my co-star. I had Rico Barrino, which is Fantasia's brother. Robert Curry from Day 26. Oh, we was star studded. It was
Oh,
really, really good. Yeah.
that is
um,
beautiful. Okay, so I
thank
got
you.
you.
Okay, so you recently participated last night as a
Yes.
guest panelist at BBR Indie Films. Can you
Yes.
share some of your key takeaways or insights you gained?
Wow. I think I really feel like, your spirit of the idea of, once again, networking, which my life coach um, kind of put a spin to it, net giving. That was the spirit of everybody coming together and saying, how can I support you? How can I work with you? That spirit was so strong, and you ushered that in. So I'm super clear about what your intention is for that. So that's
Mhm.
beautiful. And that was like I said, it was resonant. So that was definitely dope. The films, like everybody's film, it was just great, great, great independent film work, right? And listening to the other panelists, I was like, yo, wow. The brother
Germany?
yes, the brother from, not only brother from Germany, yes, like I would love to have heard more of his story. I'm like,
It's
oh,
so
I want to hear
good.
more.
Mhm.
And even the brother who does the only black distributor in the United States.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yo. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, can we get him back again to ask more questions? Could we it's a question? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So knowing that there was just a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge that was present. I pray that people were able to get what they needed. What they needed. The sister from All Black. I mean
We
from
TV and all
yeah,
black.
WeTV and All Black. Like, what? She was dropping some gems too, and I'm like, man, yo, let's more, please, more, please, more, please. Come on, y'all, come on. And so I'm like, okay, you gotta do part two. You might have to do part two. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We really do got to do a part two. It was some amazing people there, for sure. Chris Silver, he's an Emmy Award winning writer and director. We just had him on Transparency Talks podcast, and Barrett, who is the first black distribution, our only distribution company in the United States. He was the one that put on Kevin Hart and Tyler Perry for their very first films. Yep. They got
Wow.
their start with him, which was
Oh
which
man.
was like, it was such a blessing to have all of you, because everybody came from all different facets of the film and industry to be
Yes.
able to pour into all of the indie filmmakers and everything. And so, I want to say publicly thank you so much, for pouring in and coming and being a blessing to all of us, because you truly, truly was.
Ashe, and I thank you for using your platform for just to empower. You have a
Yeah,
platform, and you're using it intentionally to empower other artists to go and do. Don't wait on nobody. Just go and create. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Do it. Just do
yeah,
it.
for
So
sure.
thank you.
Thank you. What advice could you give to aspiring filmmakers that are just getting started in the industry?
Like we just said, go
Go
and create. Just go and do it. We have so many the means. We have the means now to make many movies on a phone. And so just that by itself is it's a license. We have the license to create now, right? With no there's no hierarchy. There's nothing. We don't have to wait on nobody, right?
Right.
So my thing is that let's just do that. And as you do it, you learn and you
Yep.
learn. And so the art of just taking that first step and doing it, that's the light. That's the life. you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, I want to thank you so much for coming on to Transparency Talks podcast. Can you tell everybody what you have coming up next and how they can reach you?
Wow. So I'm going to be in a stage production on this Saturday with Audrey Ori Presents The Heart of a Man, talking about the mental health issues that Black men deal with.
Hmm.
And so it's a very powerful monologues, that are going to be shared. And that's on Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the Synchronicity Theater here in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's coming up. And then uh, j- just this woman has a vision, and I think it's magnificent. So I just want to just shout her out, and we have to celebrate our queens. Y'all are the y'all birth life. So we gotta protect y'all. We gotta support y'all. We have to continue to lift y'all up. And so I think that that's important. So that's coming up on Saturday. And then I'm blessed to be able to. I'm working on a science fiction thriller with my good friend Courtney Arlett, and that's coming up the end of May. And so we're going to be working on that. So, and then I have a few other pots, a few other hands in some other pots that are bubbling up right now. But that's soon coming. So I'll keep you posted, because yeah, you said, you're looking to the direct and act as well. So I'm like, yo, let's work together. Let's work together.
Oh, Jason, I'm absolutely gonna be calling you for my next film. Absolutely.
Ashe, let's go.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
um, thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast. With that, everybody, Jason, you stay on. But with that, everybody, we are out of here, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace,
Blessings,
y'all.
y'all.